Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Dreamcast review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the King of Fighters 2002, which this one appears to be called Challenge to Ultimate Battle, which I think it's the first one I've actually had that's had a subline, a tagline or anything that I've been able to read on the Japanese version. So if the others have had them, well, I might well have found out by now and put them up in text. Anyway, at the start, you've got mode select between team player, single player, team versus single versus. I've said the same thing 3 reviews in a row pretty much with the King of Fighters games. Basically, the whole point of King of Fighters is that it's a team game, but then they add the single version, so you can either play through as a team or you can play through on your own, and same with versus. Practice is self-explanatory, as is gallery. Challenge, there's a few things that you can do. Team attack, single attack, and time attack, and you have to unlock them, which I haven't got around to doing yet. There's also a lot of unlockables, to be fair, in the game, but I'll get to that a little bit later on. You can then choose difficulty between 1 and 8. You can then choose key config and battle config. Key config is just like customized controls. Battle config, you can choose your power gauge, your play time, single point, and you can choose vibration, sound, just things like that. Just the usual, I suppose. You can also have auto save on, which is what that was, in case you were wondering why it was coming up. And, well, I suppose now I should just get on to the actual fundamentals. So I'll just choose pretty much anyone that I, well, spot and feel like. And as you might have noticed there is a huge amount of characters to play as. From there on, you then get to choose who you verse. So I've got a choice between teams here, but if I was on single, I'd get a choice between single. You can then choose what order you want your characters to be, so I'll just choose them like that. Then, when you get onto the game, one of the first things you're going to notice is that graphically, it is amazing. As you might have noticed, because they probably all went up together, I've only got 3 King of Fighters games on the Dreamcast, and because they're so many years apart, then I've noticed drastically just how much better the graphics have got over the iterations, simply because I've took big chunks out of them rather than viewing them every year. Like a lot of people will have. I went from essentially 98 to 2000 to 2002, missing one out in between every time. And graphically, I was just over the moon with this. I mean, I couldn't believe how good it looked. Gameplay wise, it's pretty much your self-explanatory fighting game. You kick the crap out of your opponent or opponents, you go on to the next lot, you do it all over again, rinse and repeat. You've got your specials, you've got your super bars and that. There's a few things to mention with the specifics and all that. First of all, this is the first one I've noticed that actually has a command list on it for the Dreamcast. Now, obviously 2001 might have, but I didn't have it. However, it's all in Japanese, but it's still the general. I mean, you can still work out the directions and what button you're supposed to push. You just can't really read what its effects are or what the name is or anything. There's then also the ability to activate one of your, well, you might notice I've just done it there, the gauge at the bottom, it keeps going up in number, and then you can activate at a certain time, and this is unfortunately where I get very hazy, because my knowledge is very hazy because it's all in Japanese. But essentially, depending on when you use it, whether or not you're in the middle of an attack, whether or not you're in the middle of defense, whether how much energy you've got and how many bars it uses, depends on the effect. But overall, it's a general buff, I suppose. It like makes you better, it makes your character better, so you can get yourself out of some crap or you can continue dominating. It's, as I say, it just depends on how you use it and when you use it. I've already mentioned the graphics. Might as well shut up for a little bit of the music, because musically it's really good. Like I keep saying, well, a lot of SNK fighters, but then again, I just like SNK fighters. I like pretty much everything about them. So I'll choose this team and shut up for a bit of the music. So that was a little bit of the music. The only thing I can really mention is expanding on what I said about there's a few unlockables. Basically, there's some unlockable characters, and there's a couple ways to get them. I suppose if you've ever played a Smash Bros game, you'll know what I'm about to say, because it is very Smash Bros-esque. There's like a difficult way to get the character, and then there's a play so many XYZ to get a different character, and it's like, for example, Mewtwo on Smash Bros was something like play for 20 hours total or play 700 versus matches, and it's pretty much the same with this. It's like, do this, you know, I don't really want to spoil how to unlock it for anyone, that's why I specifically mentioned a character from a different game, but it's like, do this or play this many time attack, you know. And it's just one of those things that it's pretty cool that they've done it like that, because you mightn't be good enough to unlock a character one way, but just with a lot of play over quite a few months, then you'll at least still get all the characters. And I quite like it when they do that, because I have had games before. I mean, No Mercy immediately springs to my mind. If you've never played No Mercy before, it's a wrestling game, and one of the secret characters was the Ho from The Godfather's Ho Train, and me and me mate, we had a blast trying to do it, but we would literally spend weeks, months just trying to get the character and failing miserably. And as I say, we had a blast doing it all the time, because it was just a fun game to play. But it did annoy the two of us that we just could never get it, simply by, well, I think it was more skill and luck, because it was something like you had to beat a Royal Rumble with all characters in a certain time without getting eliminated once, and it was insane, it was mental. It really did take us weeks, and we still never done it, so it always annoyed us. So I like how this does the same as a Smash Bros type thing, where there's an alternate way to unlock a character just in case you're not good enough to be able to do it one way. So that's pretty much all I can really say about the game. That it's just an amazing King of Fighters experience. I'd probably say 99 Dream Match is the better game. I heard that there's a lot of people say this, and then there's a lot of people saying 98, and I swap between the two, but I think I prefer 98 overall, which is 99 Dream Match. I think I've mentioned it in all three King of Fighters vids now, but it's just one of those things that each to their own, I suppose. This is still a fantastic title, and even if you only get 2 or 3 King of Fighters games like I did, it is well worth probably getting 2002 and 98/99 Dream Match, because there's just such a gap between them. It's the type of thing that if it was a FIFA game, I wouldn't say it's worth getting FIFA 94 and FIFA 99, you know, but because it's a fighter, and personally I love the franchise, the series, then I definitely think it's well worth getting a couple in it, mainly from the early end and the later end, so that you can notice the immediate differences. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid, or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel, because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe, because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.